wrote then.
Well, you gonna speed up to get hit, or you gonna get hit, or you gonna speed up faster than
I got the right and you wrote then. Well, you write what you wrote. Yeah, I like to speak like it.
Placed in a moment of solitude, in position, like a flower that fed the buffaloes in spring for the rain, for the days of the long ago for the range, and the lookable is unseen after the prairie flowers lay low, tossing your blooming, your perfect grasses swept away by the weep of the wheels and on to spin. Like you were placed in a moment of solitude, in position, like a flower that fed the buffaloes in spring for the rain, for the days of the long ago for the range, and the lookable is unseen after the prairie flowers lay low. Tossing your blooming, your perfect grasses swept away by the weep of the wheels and on to spin after the spring. For the distantly fed for the buffaloes, but after being gone no more for the big low, no more for the trunning of the hills. Find a blade. Stay. Those two crows sat on the fence rail, thinking of the effect and cause of the weeds and the flowers for the nature and the laws. And one for the mother for the one of them shudder, for the stutter for the this, one of the mother for the thought that he can utter. One act the other for the riddle, for the find out for the riddle, for the mother, for the one the shuddering, for what you good habits, the sort of the fiddle, for this to be the beef, and the hat is for the fiddle, for the test, the find it crook. Whatever the place you know, for this to be the two black roses turned up and away from the rose, and did the sail wide, nothing to be covers. Was it being? And the traveling of the heart for one with the dark for the earth, for the mist of cloud, for the yoke, for the part, for the this to be the Indian corn, for the candy corn, for the walking plum, for the over the head, for this to be the lavish, for the earth, and the eating after the beast on. Walking there for the lambs, and walked after the hills, to the path of cool, for find a left, the one for the dark and bright night. The skies after the lightning, and the one for the web, for the biscuits of wind. Went to heaven after the dogs and fled. This be the one for the sacred, the earth, and the one to enter the sticky dope. Put the spirits through the rain. I can find a piece of shell, but you're not. You're out of state. With all the big black things, and finally the Lord with threat and set for the stars. My pillow for the air inside the room, the arching of my head, for this is stars, and like the daisies, and shell rising through the earth, with the acorn, mine and breast, they live. Over the leaf of the there to the flower change, and mine is scores of acorns, and the hearts to be fed. It's a food for the traveler, for the heart of me, and heart for some sweet that light for the mind, summer day. She is the right heart for rain. Even that is forgotten, I wish that was there for the play that had its own for the morning of hatred and unvoiced. Was it himself or was it that the light of love? Who was that? In the passion and the love, what you teach me. Laugh at the picture, what you frown in the box. Rejoicing, my head, rejoicing, my head, breeze in the autumn sky. Ravening over the clouds, and this will be the black nights and spreading that for the down. Transparent clear belt for the either left of the east, ascended left of the large palm, the Lord star Jupiter. With a hand for this, there a little for the love, the search, find the difference, to surrender the latest, and the hand of the father for the glorious enough to be survivor, watching silently, need to get in, not like a child, like a daughter to the little kids, and not to the tears from the cow. Find up in the palm of these. Perfect figure underneath that. Harmless. Above the house with a lambent for the blue sky. One walk echoing down the snake. That's been squiggly, so I'm fine stick for the stone, put it down the waterfall for the shuffling of the bare feet, for the dancing on the edge of it, for the shimmer this one now, for the one step to the beat. Or walk that for the O, for the swerving for the soft, he goes in the gather for the sun. He has no bones, and this will be the gather of the wind. The bone few find the hums of this kind, sealed with overflow. You can find the spirit that matters. In the echoing of green for this to make happy skies, and Mary the bells ring for the welcome of the spring, for the skylark, for the thrush of the bird, for the bush. And singing louder of enough for the round, for the bells, a cheerful sound, for the enough for the sports. We sing with the echoing of the style laugh away a care, sitting under the oak for the long that for the you could laugh for the play, for the soon step for the safe, for the difference be all the joys for their own. Boys and girls are just be seen for the echoing of the what you can tell the little for the berry, wary, different to be over the sun, there's not this sin for the sports half having and for the round, for the laps of the mother, for the sisters and brothers, and like the birds in the nest are ready for the rest. More seen enough for the darkening, for the green pastures. Where you lay before the birth of one for the children. It was after the adversity does we find a joy at 10 from no ties to be so strong for the friends who endeavor. Dear and sweet for this to be the death for the parting blow. Sure to be for the sentence to pass it after the most. Irrelevant for the common thing for the yet inevitable for this to be the death. May find the steps at 10. Soon may not be the lie for the loose. The friend for the both for the ignorant and yet the bids of me for the farewell for the lines to recommend this and find the knot for the untied for the medicine only seem that perfected after be none. But see for the half of the days will be true. This will be the nature that work I grant for yours. And many faults that well you know I have been oblivious. For the grave, for the any word, for the virtue, for the word in me, for the life, for the fresh sleep, within the memory, for the devils to feel no grief, for this will be the harm. Yet I did, now for the long of the day, late, that when the loss of this shall be repaid with the gains and look to my little babes, and this will be the dear remains, and this can find my love myself, for this will be the me, protecting myself for the dames of injury, chance that for the vine, the eyes and shall bring this verse for the sum of the sad signs, and honor to my absence, and a hearse, and this will kiss that paper for the loves of the dear sake, for the who, and find the salt tears for the last farewell did I take. Give those flowers while you're still here. The man with the beard for the fleeting, for the who's fragile enough to require a little water, for the surprise of me, for the reminding of you, for the that aren't you, for there you are. Like a vase of flowers, fleeting. It's quite like a science in between us. Solomon for the infant, for the you can find a place where the screaming does not indicate the terror. Down in those beds for this to be the greener grass, they say. For the originator, for this to be the envy, for the sleep is pollinated by the babies of the whales, the dreams, spread by the voice of the divine and mind is split. Up and emancipated like a greyhound. In the track for the end, for the growth and the death of the pain, it begins that scribble for the scribble. Finishing touching, you could plant and plant and land and call your plants by the name for the 10,000 words a day for the feet. We read in books and by the hours and vows, and it's to what I'm reminded. But stillness and what have I grown except loss? What is it again? Except the cost. The spider and the fly. When I was born to fly, for this to be the double foot of the spider for the down, for the rainbow dot, for the ate my wings and gloated for the bound, for me, for the hair, for the drove me into the parlor, for the ever the winning of the same. They're divine and educated for the young spider, for took me all apart, for the ghost came back to my heart. Sorry, my heart. I should start that for the nines, to the flowers, for the memory of the child, or the little walks at midnight. Till you remember to die for tomorrow. For the moral, for I will hide my face from you, for king, and you can find the rejoicing in the priest and slain. Sing that for the wisdom and not to forget. Since it's that for the faith, for the soul, for the hidden. Make this a white hour great, for this to be the God marvelous and the hour for your son. I know for the once in 1,000 days, and you can find that generator for the over and enter the heaven for the memory of the child. Who's let me boldly with the wicked and you can watch that blood for the lad. For this is smile for the gravely over the heathen. Come to watching the blood for the land, for the watching that for the lover for the world. And then for the over the rank on the rank for the lurching for the braves, and the dishes and the drink, and this will be the alleyways, and this will be the drugs and the brains of the veil. For the mind, for still passion for the rhythm of the soul, for the power of the frail. And this is eating after the same for the moldy breath. And desmond unwasted unwashed for the legions of the way for the death. For this will be the wash of the blood of the lamb. And I say for the round for the road, over the grown, then more for the benefit of the wide world will fly. Some doctors glory for the transcendent gods. Big voice and lies and that's the angels of angels. And the fanatical for the just to be shrieking. Washing the blood of the lamb, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Rush to worship far after they can find the bull next to become Vic. Die for the land to be free. Known to be coming for the glow, for the glare, for the upper, for the golden air. And you can find that blood of the lamb. Boots and die the blind, still by the sick. That motion. Find out for your inferno. But should have come along, steal that for the bike, move that towards the eternal. Sat in silence as I was healed. Storm cloud of my sickness fled in the breath. Flickering the eyes and the salt the mother for the bed, for the gazing of their eyes without surprise, and yes, to move that hand. Clash of the chest. Had no desire to move for the resting of the sound to the cypress of the trees and streams that flow from the cross that for the vast prairies and sticking that for the seas and don't exist and worth in it exist. Existence for the fall of that for the bane side. Doing the same, never more distant. But I won't come and go. To name myself and lose in it for this to be the platter for the man. I am so. Out of that motion. Find out for the inferno. But should have come along, steal that for the bike, move that towards the eternal. Sat in silence as I was healed. Storm cloud of my sickness fled in the breath. Flickering the eyes and the salt the mother for the bed, for the gazing of their eyes without surprise, and yes, to move that hand. Clash of the chest. Had no desire to move for the resting of the sound to the cypress of the trees and streams that flow through the cross that for the vast prairies and sticking that for the seas and don't exist and worth in it exist. Existence for the fall of that for the bane side. The same, never more distant. But I won't come and go. But I name myself and lose in it for this to be the platter for the man. I am so. The new intelligence for the night, for the knowing, for the lies, for the beauty, for the fire, for the worship, for the veil, for the prolong, for we walk back home through the pedestrian, the daylight to the residence. Humbler than I was and left behind, for the door without the mystery, for the room without the theme, for the hour that we spent, for the complacent at the window, for the overlooking the garden we observe, the arrangements in the rust of the gray, green, vague, center for those who slow persistent, for the movements and slow sentence might explain if we had time. Strength for the sentences. Admit that what we fall, fail, the far, the solitary, for the loss of the permanent dust, for us in particular. That the mind for the fear, for the disenchantment of the fat, and the come to the boss, this for the world around it, for the board, for the sit down, for the finger guess, this for rearranging the cheese. Whatever not for the turn of the smile, for the disease and other will of the way. Your false branches not to arch with its interlaced with the hands to dangle for the leaf. Last left for the tangle. Parchments enough to bury. Large array for the primitive, for the bird shapes and the earth can find the passage here in the feather shape. Aftermath for the nothing we would be content. For the way we leave and the way we found it. I love it about you, laughing the right for the call you for the long draft of that breath. Keeping us away from this to be the other, but I'm calling for the person to find the beauty for the reason. This to be the scene, my awkwardness and the actual sidewalk, but she still answers anyway. I say that when I fell and fell beside me for the concrete for views to apologize to sparrow and sat for a spell. And on the windowsill today to define and communicate the new intelligence for the goal for the objective, depending upon the faith of the accuracy of one's perception, which is the state for the confidence of the purity for the perceiving of the instrument. I won't be dying after all, not now, from the go on living for the dizzily hereafter, for the reality, for the half death, for the reality, for the room, for the perfume, for the fire, for that earth extinguishable loop again. You'll find that for the picture of the one day. I found it in the box to the sifting through the cleaning of the. You can find it clear in the mind, the eyes drew, and you only find it once. You find the dawn to darkness, the sort of dust to prevail. Night bears all up in all the hours of the stumbling upon the sign for this to be the murder for such a day for the instinctive, but you can have the pictures of this alone. Not knowing what I felt, but still I have sense. My witness for the intricate, for the change that happened. Of course, I can offer signs and sweep for the crowds, for the wing, for the where flush flew, for the raptors, for the ever, for the draft, and the more the blot inside, to find no blatancy, for the cold and white cover. She's cold. In any case, it was that kind of day for we can hail. Her arms are just as gently as a mother for the mother is cried, her might is her child, for the hand is so small that left for the cry. Found that for the carefully drew. Three sides of a square for the above, that for the pair of slanting lines, and the roof of the house of which was finest watches to the sky for the glancing aside along me. I could find it to prove it or not. I knew that was that for the what was, meant to ask. Please forgive me, I stroke your cheek for the look at now, for the twice as once, this be the bill for the blunt, for the true, for the leafy of the street, for the consider that for the parallel. You drew that for the crossing of the side, to the form two windows in which you said for there were one for you and one for. Looking out of the road for the which was made for the line to the well, for the not quite for the parallel, for the one for the doorway, for the edge of the page. Trust your type for the mine is dead so far for the writing down that picture for the drone. Join that for the prey, for the babies and dreams and landscape. Clean as the sweet as you are, but it seemed to me today for the perfect figure underneath that harmless bird. The tree. Out of that motion, you can find out of the infernal. But sure to come along, steal that for the bike, move that towards the eternal. Sudden silence as I was healed. Storm cloud of my sickness fled on the breath. Flickering the eyes and I saw the mother for the bed, for the gazing of their eyes without surprise, and yes, to move that hand. Flash of the chest. Had no desire to move the resting of the sounds of the cypress of the trees and streams that flow from across that for the vast prairies and sticking that for the season don't exist and work they don't exist. Existence for the fall of that for the vein side. Ever the same, ever more distant. But I won't come and go. But I name myself and lose in it, for this to be the platter for the man. I himself. The new intelligence for the not for the knowing, for the lies, for the beauty, for the fire, for the worship, for the fail, for the prolong, for the we walk back home through the pedestrian, the daylight to the residence. Humbler than I ones left behind, for the door without the mystery, for the room without the theme, for the hour that we spend, for the complacent at the window, for the overlooking the garden we observe, the arrangements of the rust and the gray, green, vague, center for those who slow persistent, for the movements of slow sentence might explain if we had time. Strength for the sentences. Admit that what we fall, failed, and far and solitary for the loss of the permanent dust, for dust in particular. That mind for the fear, for the disenchantment of the fact that comes to boss, this for the world around it, for the world, for the sit down, for the finger guess, so this will be rearranging the cheese. Whatever, not for the turn of the smile, for the disease, and other will of the way. Your false branches unite to arch, and this interlates with the hands to dangle for the leaf. Last left for the tangle. Parchments of nothing buried. Large array for the primitive, for the bird shape, and the earth can find a passage here, the feather shape. Aftermath for the nothing, we will be content. For the way we leave and the way we found it, I love it about you, life and the way for the call you for the long, the drab of that practically. Keeping us away from this be the other, but I'm calling for the person to find the beautiful, the beautifulness, to be the scene, my awkwardness, and the actual sidewalk, but she still answers anyway. I say that when I fell and beside me for the concrete, refused to apologize and spare the sack for a spell. You know, on the windowsill today to define and communicate the new intelligence to the goal for the objective, depending upon the faith of the accuracy for one's perception, which is the state for the confidence of the purity for the perceiving of the instrument. I won't be dying after all, not now, from the go on living for the dizzily hereafter, for the reality, for the half-definite reality, for the room, for the perfume, for the fire, for that earth extinguishable, the blue again. You'll find out for the picture for the one day. I found it in the box of the sifting through the cleaning of the. You can find it clear in mind, the eyes drew, but you don't really find it once. You find the dawn to darkness and sort of dust to prevail. Night bears all up at all the hours of the stumbling upon the sign for this to be the murder for the such a day for the instinctive you can have the pictures of this alone. Not knowing what I felt and still I have since. My witness for the intricate for the change that happened. Of course I can offer signs and sweep with the brows for the wing, for the wear, flush, flew, for the raptors, for the ever, for the draft, for the more the blot inside to find no blatant secret, the cold and white and covered. She's cold. In any case, it was that kind of day from which you can hail. Her arms are just as gently as a mother for the mother is. To try to Midas her child, for the hand is so small to death for the bride. And find that for the carefully drew. 3 sides of the square for the above, that for the pair of slanting eyes. And the roof of the house of woods, find the swatches of the sky for the glancing aside along me. I can find the proof of but not. I knew that was that for the what was. I meant to ask. Please forgive me, I stroke your cheek for the look at now, for the twice as once, so this will be the bill for the blunt, for the true, for the leafy of the street, for the consider that for the parallel. You drew that for the crossing of the side, to the form 2 windows in which you said for there were one for you and one for. Looking down at the road for the which is made for the line to the well, for the not quite for the parallel, for the one for the doorway, for the edge of the page. Touch your type for this mind is dead so far for the writing down that picture for the drone. Join that for the prey, for the babies and dreams and landscapes. Things as sweet as you are perceived to me today, for the perfect figure underneath that harmless word. Retreat. Like you were placed in a moment of solitude. Position. The flower that fed the buffaloes and springs of the rain. The days of the long ago for the range and the locomotives to sing after the prairie flowers are laid low. Tossing your blooming, your perfume grasses swept away by the weep of the wheels and on to spin after the spring for the district of the fed for the buffaloes to the acid be gone no more for the below but no more for the trunning of the hills of the find a blame. Stay. Crows sat on the fence rail, thinking of the affection calls to the weeds and flower for the nature and the laws, and one for the mutter for the one of them shudder for the stutter for the this and one of the mutter for the thought that he can utter. One acts the other for the riddle for the you can find out for the riddle for the mutter for the owner, the shuddering for what you good habits, the sort of the fiddle for this to be the beef, the had to sword for the fiddle for the because that you can find a grow. Whatever the place you know, for this to be the two black crows and turned out for the way for the crows and did the sail wide, not for the because it was a bee. And the traveler of the heart for one would be with the dark for the earth for the distant plow for the youth for the yoke for the part for the this to be the Indian corn for the candy corn for the walking plums and over the head for this to be the lavish of the earth and you eating that for the beast on. Or walking there for the lambs and walked up the hills to the path of pools and find a left for the ones with the dark and bright and night. Skies not for the lightning and the running with the web for the vicious of the wind. Went to ever that for the dogs that fled. This be the one for the sake of the earth for the one to enter the sleepy goes looking the head. Put the spirits to prove in me. I can find a piece of shell that drew mine. Shroud instead. One with all the pit black for the things and the finding from the Lord, threatening the set for the star for my pillow for the there inside the gloom for the arching.